afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Caradonna's Master Series. Today we have Wakatobi Resort and the Pelagian Liveaboard, and our guest host is Michelle Winkle, who is the guest creative consultant. Is that right, Michelle?
Well, guest experience consultant
Okay.
or representative of
Yes.
Wakatobi. Thank you so much for
You're
inviting
welcome.
us today. We appreciate it. Hello, everyone.
Alrighty, so we're going to be going on a beautiful trip to Wakatobi in North Sulawesi, Indonesia. Unbelievable place, and long-term partners of Caradonna. At the end of the presentation, Doris Pfister, our Caradonna agent, who also has been to Wakatobi, is going to be answering the questions and presenting the most topical ones. And when we are ready towards the end, we'll go through with that. But right now, go ahead and take it away, Michelle.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So we'd like to get started here. Let me go ahead and share our screen here.
Perfect.
Do we have it?
Perfect.
Okay, wonderful. Well, this is just an aerial shot of the resort coming in. We're located in Southeast Sulawesi, Indonesia, a short plane ride from Bali. We have our own private airstrip to bring you in from Bali, which makes it wonderfully convenient. For those of you who have ever traveled around Indonesia, the logistics with Indonesia can be quite challenging. So we built an airstrip to bring you into the resort directly from Bali. Just to give you an idea, we have luxurious 2-bedroom villas, infinity pool, as well as wonderful accommodations. You can see we do the Indonesian style. And if you can take a look here, the resort here is pretty much built on the reef. So as close as you could get to the reef, we are. So the reef here, you'll see it's a protected area, conservation area that we work with the locals to protect this area. We have over 45 dive sites, short boat ride from the resort. Just to give you an idea, we have some ocean bungalows directly on the ocean. It's wonderful to hear the sound of the ocean lapping with the windows open. We are located close to the equator, probably about 5 degrees off the equator. So we allow for year-round diving. The temperature is usually always around 80 degrees air temp and usually 80 degrees water temp. It gets a little cooler when the trade winds come in, usually in the summer months. Here's a nice view. You can take a look at the view out over Sawa Island. Give you an idea of the interior. We also feature wonderful 5-star cuisine. For any of you that's come to visit, we feature small bite-sized style cuisine, so you can take your choices of sashimi, vegetarian, all types of international cuisine. We have outside patio seating. Here's another view. I'm sure most of you we're ready to jump in the screen now. It's a wonderful romantic getaway. And I think I might recognize, that might be somebody we know there. Maybe we can picture ourselves there. We do feature shallow reef systems with the dive sites being so close. You can see how large the dive boats are. They're about 60 feet long. We go in small groups, usually about 10 to 12 divers. We do 3 dives a day from the resort with unlimited house reef diving. Just to give you an idea of how shallow the reef system is here, it allows for a lot of light penetration. So it's just a wonderful opportunity for photographers. Many different styles of hard and soft corals. The area is the most biodiverse in the world. The coral triangle is filled with the most diverse species of nudibranchs and every type of creature you can imagine. In our area, we have many opportunities for different types of diving, wall diving. This is a pinnacle reef called Blade, which is a short run from the dive. Many different species of frogfish. These guys are some of my favorite. Lots of opportunities for schooling fish too. Lots of schooling jacks, barracudas. These guys are some of my favorite as well. We have cuttlefish in the area, and some of them are the largest I've ever seen. They're really beautiful creatures. Oops. Just to give you another idea from the villa. We have paddle boards and kayaks when you don't feel like diving or snorkeling. Also, we offer during the season, so usually July and August, kite surfing opportunities. So we have wonderful kite surfing beach launch area. So you can combine a little bit of kite surfing, diving, snorkeling. One of my favorite views here is from the jetty bar at night. You can, at the end of the day, take a look up and enjoy the Milky Way. Nice cocktail, glass of wine. This is just a shot of our aircraft that we charter, operated by Wings Air. It comes in from Bali. We operate it on Mondays and Fridays, mostly during the year. So it gives you an opportunity for different combinations of stays. And just to give you an idea of our location, just a short ride from Bali. And Bali is very easy to get to from any of the Asian gateways. And I think we have, I think we have a little video here to show. Javier? wonderful video. I hope you all enjoyed the virtual dive and introduction to Wakatobi. I think we have another video here because I think we've all been missing diving so much that I wanted us to go on a virtual dive. I've got a dive video of our dive site, the zoo, which is one of my favorites. It's incredible. So we're going to take a look. Enjoy.
Hi, Michelle. You just want to turn on your volume again?
Sorry about that. I
No
hope you all
problem.
enjoyed some nice lettuce coral for lunch today. I love that site. Very beautiful. So here we go. I think we have another video, Roma dive site video, Javier. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed, especially that eagle ray at the end, that parting shot. I know we're all ready to go diving right next to the eagle ray. Awesome. I just wanted to hope you all enjoyed that so much. And next we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about our dive yacht Pelagian. And Pelagian is a 115-foot motor yacht. So let me get into the file here.
I will mention that Wakatobi not only is amazing for scuba diving, but you've been doing a tremendous amount of snorkeling business as well over the past couple of years. So for all those people that are watching out there that you may not be divers, it is just the utmost beautiful destination to take a snorkeling trip and you know, experience everything that divers get to see.
The
Which you can tell we're really
snorkeling,
spoiled.
yeah, the snorkeling, I was so amazed as primarily a diver. The snorkeling to me was almost better than the diving at times. That's how incredible the reef system being so shallow, it makes a big difference. And being in a protected area, we don't have
Yeah.
much, I won't say no current because it is the ocean. So you just never know exactly on the ocean, but it's very, very calm seas there. So the snorkeling is fantastic. And we also snorkel from the Pelagian as well. So and you go out with a guide, just like you do with the diving. So here we go with Pelagian. Pelagian 115-foot motor yacht. So everyone comes over on the private flight together from Bali, and then the guest accommodates 10 guests. We have 13 crew, 5 staterooms, and you'll snorkel and dive off these 2 tenders that you see here. Beautiful boat. It's a still hull boat. It's about 50 plus years old. We've redone the whole boat. It's spectacular. Just to give you an idea of the region, it goes about a 40-mile itinerary and circumnavigates the area. So you start out at the resort and you go around the area. So it's wonderful because it gives you a different, you get some different topography, and it gives you some different types of diving styles. There's the main salon here for relaxing. It's very spacious with it only being 10 guests. It's just very, very roomy, intimate. Here's the master suite. It doesn't really feel like a boat. It's such a large suite. It's fantastic. This is the Super Lux suite. We have 2 of these. They're on both sides of the boat. And then we have our deluxe cabin and our standard cabin. And we have a wonderful large camera room, which we all need that. We need lots of elbow room here for our cameras and our batteries. We have a workstation. We also have excellent chefs. I've had guests tell me they really get spoiled on the boat because they just cater to your tastes, your cuisine, whatever. They really spoil you on the boat. We spoil you everywhere, but we just the boat is a little more intimate. So see them working there. We have a nice outside area for dining. Can just see enjoying the end of your day there after a nice day of diving. And each person has their own area. Wetsuits. You can see us here. We're getting ready to go out for a dive. And we have very excellent staff to take you diving, personalized service, small groups. Here we are exploring the reef. Fantastic corals, and there's both macro and wide angle opportunities here for photography. So it's just a photographer's dream here. So you get both. I think I recognize that. That's you, right? I think that's all of us diving right now. Spectacular soft coral formation. And Indonesia is very well known for macro photography. And from the Pelagian, we have some sites where we get to take advantage of the mandarin fish. I think these are most of our favorites. And they're very challenging to see sometimes. They're only coming out at dusk. Also the famous blue ring octopus. And there's so many of these. We have very large books, and you can all study and learn all the names because there's so many. Nudibranchs, you'll just love it. Fantastic schooling, barracuda. So as you can see, we're in a protected area, Southeast Sulawesi, right in the heart of the Coral Triangle. About a 2-hour, 40-minute plane ride from Bali. And I think we have, Javier, I think we have another video. Do we have a video for Pelagian? Wow, I hope you all enjoyed that. That was fantastic to see Pelagian. I'm definitely dreaming of being there right now. And just to give you a little more of our virtual dives, I think we've got another video coming up of a couple mandarin fish doing a dance for us. Well, that was magic. I hope you'll all get a chance to take a look at that off Pelagian and see that someday. It's pretty incredible. It's fast, and I'm glad we had a virtual dive. I think we have one more taste of a highlight dive in off Pelagian, so we could go on our virtual dive of the asphalt pier. I think we've got a short video. Wow, that was fun. I really enjoyed that, seeing that little hairy crab. They're so fun to find on the reef, and they're all so intricate and ornate. Fantastic. I hope you all enjoyed that.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I do want to say that we're very fortunate at Caradonna because we also work with Karen Stearns, who's marketing, and Walt Stearns, who does a lot of our brochure. And some of these beautiful images that you have seen in this are actually in our brochure. So we're very fortunate to have that relationship. And so at this point, I just also want to have Doris come and join us with some questions that we have. And if you're ready to go, Doris, we'll let you take it over. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michelle. That was awesome. And I have to say, since I've been to Wakatobi just last year, all of those pictures and videos, it's as beautiful as you see on the screen. You know, sometimes people always pick the best of the best to put in their videos, but literally every dive was just absolutely stunning. So it was a bucket list trip for me, for sure. And it did not disappoint.
Oh, that is so awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. And I do have folks, they'll ask, they'll say, is it really as good as the pictures? And I say, it's better.
Absolutely. I can definitely attest. And every time I come back from a trip, you know, I tell people, I talk their ear off. I'm just like, I just got back and this is what we saw.
You're trying to remember everything you saw.
I know. Exactly. Well, you know, that's actually one of the cool things. At the end of the week, we got a little printout with all of our dive sites and our times. So that's actually really great. So we do have a few questions.
Wonderful.
Is there a certain number of divers per boat? I know that they're very roomy. What is the max numbers, and what about dive master to diver ratio?
Yeah, great question. Thank you so much. And we do dive in small groups. So usually there's only 4 or 5 divers or snorkelers per guide. And we also offer a private dive guide as well.
Okay, and just again, from my experience, the dive guides were incredibly knowledgeable. I mean, we probably saw, you know, 50 different nudibranchs, and, you know, our guide was writing down not only the common name, but the, you know, blah, blah name, whatever the fancy name was. And I was like, how in the world does he know all this and can remember it? Or maybe he was just writing gibberish and we all thought that he just
Oh, I think they know
Oh, they know.
they're studying. Yes, it's so
It was
fantastic.
very impressive. So because this is usually a little bit more of a, a longer trip, it takes a little bit longer to get to. I don't want to say bucket list trip, but a lot of people do categorize it as that.
Yes.
What would you say is the best time of the year to visit? If they've got the whole calendar open and they're saying, we want to go to Wakatobi, best time?
Well, I think it depends on what your focus of the trip would be. So let's say if you wanted to dive and snorkel, you would probably want to come maybe when the water would be a little bit more warm and calm. So before the trade winds, maybe April, May, and June, or before or after, which I'm sure I think you came around this time. So usually September, October, November. But I've had
I was there in April.
You were there in April. I have been in almost every month, and it's been spectacular. In the middle of the rainy season, it's been spectacular. And so it's being so close to the equator, it's really hard to say an exact, in the region, the most dry months tend to be May and probably October, November, but it's tropical. So most folks are, a little shower in the morning at 5 o'clock is a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Well, and I'm here in Florida, so we're used to the showers, and it usually doesn't affect the diving. You're still getting out, 2-3 times a day. You've got the ability to shore dive, so it doesn't really affect it too much. So that's good to know.
I think in 20 years, maybe 4 days, we couldn't dive in 20 years. So,
oh my goodness.
The spot that was chosen was for the reef system and the protection of the area to allow for year-round enjoyment of the reef.
Fantastic. What about, well, you touched a little bit about the food. So because Wakatobi is so remote, what if we get a lot of customers that have some food allergies or limitations? How restrictive is it in terms of if they have special requirements? Is pretty much everything accessible to get, or
yes,
or how does that work?
Pretty much. I mean, if there was a specific brand of, say, something, if someone really had a specific something, that might not be in Asia, then that might be something different. But most everything we have access to. Vegetarian, gluten-free, all of those special dietary. We've had guests celiac, lots of different dietary requirements. So I have some guests that if it's very specific, then usually they know and they send maybe their specifics to you that they like. Would it be beans or certain type of meat or something like that? And we can make sure that we have it. Yes,
yeah, you've got a guest questionnaire that folks fill out, and that's where they would list all that. If they have any special requirements. Perfect. So one of the friends that I was traveling with actually, several of them did the Pelagian, and gentleman is a macro fanatic, and he did rave about the macro on Pelagian. So I would kind of recommend, I think if people can do a split stay, do a little bit time at the resort, and if they're into macro, he said they went to a pier, and of course the mandarin fish, and a couple of days of macro diving in a certain area. So that always sticks in my head, because we get a lot of folks that actually do like macro. And we always kind of think of Wakatobi as just the big blue, gorgeous reefs and all that.
That's the one thing I find very unique to our area is there's some areas of Indonesia, I find the whole country is spectacular, but there's certain areas that are real focused on macro. And that's one thing we have is we have both, and the opportunities for both are just phenomenal.
Excellent. And let's see, I guess the last thing I just wanted to recommend for folks is if they have the opportunity to do an ocean view room versus one of the palm bungalows, you get that outdoor shower, which is pretty phenomenal.
Yes. Yeah. That's really the main difference, other than it being right on the ocean, that outside shower. You just, you know you're in the tropics.
Yeah, for sure. And one more thing, I don't know that you mentioned it, but a lot of divers don't like to be limited in their dive times. And one thing that really stood out at Wakatobi was the dives are multi-level. You can start off a little deeper, but you're always ending in that beautiful shallow. So every dive is at least 70 minutes. I have a picture of my dive computer and it was 80 minutes. And, you know, a lot of times when we're diving in the Caribbean or, you know, 54 minutes and the dive master's, you know, kind of heading to the boat and saying, let's go. And it was just so refreshing to not have that, you know, that timer on us. And it was just phenomenal. So I thank you. But
yeah, we do a minimum of a 70-minute dive. And let's say, I'm sure you might have on the house reef. I mean, usually I like to do a house reef dive 90 minutes, you know, house reef dive every day. Yeah, the house reef you can spend 90 minutes there. I mean, the reef is so shallow that it allows for a nice long dive.
Awesome. Well, that is all of the questions we got. It was a fantastic presentation, and I thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Doris and team, for including us. And we just enjoy working with all the folks at Caradonna. You guys do an awesome professional job. Fantastic team over there.
Thank you. Thank you, Doris. Thank you, Michelle. We know that, you know, anything in the exotics right now for us is considered a phase 3 travel.
Yes.
Doing our planning, but certainly is something to wish for and start planning for, because what a destination. It's just incredible. And thank you again, and looking forward to seeing you soon.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, we look forward to seeing you too. Take care, everyone. Be safe.
Take care. Bye now.